Our world's predictions for the upcoming Smite World Championship 2018. The first part of the predictions, guys, is these placement rounds. Both E-United and Rival have defaulted through this. So there's 10 teams at World. This is 8 of them that will be playing on that first day. They have got the other 2 teams, like I said, E-United and Rival, who already go through to the quarterfinals match. Plus, their quarterfinals match will be pretty easy. So they basically default to the semifinals because they got first place, which is a big deal. Now, on this first set of games, guys, for the most part, this is all going to be super straightforward. You're going to see, you're not going to see anything crazy here. For the most part, the regions outside of NAEU aren't doing anything too crazy, you know? So, we're going to say Luminosity takes this, easy peasy. Energy takes this. Obey takes this. And Elevate takes this. If there were to be an upset here in the first round, guys, if there were to be an upset, I would say maybe Elevate and Black Dragon. Something could go on here. But, like, realistically, none of these teams are going to drop it. But if I had to pick one, I would say Elevate if you want to go with a crazy pick. But you're looking pretty standard here, which means our match, 1 and 2 losers. Match 1, why is it like that? That's weird. Anyway, match 1 loser is going to be Scylla Esports. Boom. And you're going to have your match 2 loser be Nocturne's Gaming. Woo! All right. Yeah. Okay. Then on the other side, you've got Entity Gaming down here. Your match 3 loser. Bada bing, bada boom. And then you've got Black Dragons. Nice. Look at that. All right. Now, these teams have to go against each other. If you lose right here, this is, as they say, the knockout round. These will be best of 3s because if you lose here, you're out. Your world has come to an end. Good day, sir. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Out of these, I think that you're gonna see probably. I don't think Scylla Esports is gonna be that strong. I apologize, and I don't particularly think that Entity is going to be that strong. I think that if anybody, Black Dragons and Nocturne have a decent shot. And that's going to be who I have going through. Black Dragons, bada bing, takes the W. And Nocturne takes the W. I don't know if it'll be easy for them. But, like, I think Nocturne might take this, like, 2-0. And I think Black Dragons might take it, like, 2-1. You know, but for the most part, whoever wins this match doesn't matter that much, because they're gonna have to go against some folks anyway. Let's see if I can do this. Oh no, undo you, select. Let's see if I can do this. Can I copy paste that over here? I can. Boom. All right, give me 1 second to do this. This is actually going to work out perfect. Copy you, put you over here. Oh, yeah, nice. This is sick. This is working amazingly. Oh, match 5 winner is going to be Black Dragons, as we discussed. And then match 3 and 4 winner right down here. Obey. Boom. They come over here. And match 4. All right, elevate. Cool. Now watch this trick. Boom. What? How does he do it? Wow. Wow. The magic of paint, friends. So that first, segment of games that don't really matter that much bring us, if they go the way that I just said, it brings us to this screen right here. This is how it'll end up when you get into the quarterfinals, where the games start to matter, right? So everything at this point is officially a knockout round, right? You lose these games, you're out. We'll already have 2 teams out by now. So we get 8 out of our 10 teams left. And we proceed from the top. Team Rival will be taking on Nocturne Gaming in a best of 3. Team Rival gets this game because, like we said earlier, they were first place coming out of Europe. They should have absolutely no problem taking this. We will have Rival 2-0. Oh, no. 2-0. Which means that Rival will be moving on to our next round. Boom! Magic. How does he do it? Now, the first big boy game of the tournament will be the biggest of big boy games. Historically, at the last 2 Worlds, the best series have been Cloud9 / Luminosity, depending on what name they were under, versus Energy / what were they? Panthera or Epsilon. That's what that was saying. Epsilon. Now this is a game. Historically, their games that they've only gone against each other in best of 5s. This will be the first time, I believe, that it's going to be a best of 3 for them. And I do think that's a big deal. I think it actually makes it easier for LG to win over Energy because it's a best of 3. I think actually best of 5s really play to the strengths of Energy Esports. So I think it's actually a disadvantage for them to only have this be a best of 3. This is such a hard game to call, honestly, but Luminosity and Energy will both have played games before this. They will have both warmed up, okay? Which is important. They'll both have gone against some easier teams to warm up. For Luminosity, as always, it's going to come down to Bara a lot. Now, I will say that because they have Baskin on their team now and Aquarius, they have a lot more carries on their team. So I don't think all the pressure's on Bara, but I think they need 2 people to perform, right? They need Bara plus. They need Bara plus Baskin or Bara plus Aquarius. They need 2 major carries to show up. Comparatively for Energy, you're looking at Adapting plus Yaman probably. If Adapting plus Yaman show up, they're probably going to be fine. On the whole, though, this could arguably end up being one of the best series of the tournament, and it'll be in the quarterfinals. It'll be early. And I do think that this is going to go 2-1 in favor of Luminosity. I think it's going to be a brawl, and I think that the team that wins game 1 will win the series. I think the game that wins game 1 will win the series, but I think Luminosity will win game 1. And Luminosity will move on to the semifinals. Oh, no. Oh! There we go. Moving onward, we've got E United versus Black Dragons. No need to waste any time here. 2-1. 2-1, what the? 2-0. Silly me. 2-0. E United over Black Dragons. They move themselves right on to the semifinals. 2-1, he says. All right. Up to the next match, which is going to be another barn burner. We have Obey versus Elevate. Elevate historically does decently well versus Obey. Elevate, I do think, is the weakest team coming out of the European region for this tournament. And while I don't think that they're a bad team, I do think that Obey has a ton of world experience between Ataraxia and Pretty Prime. And I actually think that they're going to take this series 2-0. Oh. 2-0. No, not again. Bing, bing. There we go. Now we know where they came from. Okay. Woo! Now, we're into the big boy games. We had some big boy games, but now it's the biggest of the big boys. Rival, Luminosity, and E United Obey. This has both of the #1 seeds making it to the semifinals. I would be extraordinarily surprised not to see both of the #1 teams make it to the semifinals. They're all but locked in to this. Now we switch over to best of 5s. So endurance starts to come into play, folks. This is where I think if Energy made it to this point, this is where Energy really starts to thrive. But I think they're going to lose to Luminosity. Barely. Barely. Rival versus Luminosity. Rival #1 seed coming out of Europe. Luminosity #2 seed coming out of NA. Luminosity has been in this position in the semifinals many times. This is not new for them. They will not be nervous. They will not have the jitters. Their team will be perfectly calm. Rival, on the other hand, haven't been to Worlds as a team. Biggest tournament they've ever played in. It's very new for them. They're probably the better team. But will their nerves be too much? Is the question. I think that Rival is a stronger team than Luminosity, but LAN experience, particularly Worlds experience, is going to be huge. Now also keep in mind the LG at this point, if they've made it this far, has in fact beaten Energy Esports. They have a lot of momentum coming for that. Rivals only played against a foreign team. They haven't had a real game yet on the main stage. And because of that, I've got Luminosity over Rival 3-2. 3-2. Rival over Luminosity. Next up, we have E United and Obey. Now, this is going to be another great set. Kind of similar, actually, but in reverse. E United haven't really been to the stage before. Their players are pretty new to Worlds, or if they've played at Worlds, they haven't really gone that far. Great team. I think E United is a better team than Obey. But Obey has been here before. Ataraxia is not nervous. Pretty Prime and them, they're shot calling. They're not worried about it. Their team has been with each other for a long time. Once again, Obey at this point has now beaten Elevate, a good team, in order to get here. They've had some nice on-stage practice. E United only had to go against one foreign team. They have not gotten necessarily out all of their nerves on stage. And I think Obey probably has better strategies for prepping for Worlds because they've been here before. And because of that, I think Obey takes this 3-2 over E United. Which means we have Luminosity moving from our top bracket into the finals. And we have Obey Alliance moving from the bottom. I think that both of those #1 seeds lose in the round of the semifinals. Which brings us back to Worlds 1 of Titan versus Cog, which, if you remember, went 3-2 in favor of Cog. But now there are Luminosity and Obey. They've been in this position before. Luminosity has taken this battle before, 3-2. Just barely they took it. Just barely by the hair of their chinny chin chins. I think that at this point, Luminosity is really feeling themselves. But I also think that Obey, at this point, has come a long-ass way. Once again, getting themselves back up here into the top. I think it's going to go all 5. It's going to be a great set. And I think that Obey is finally going to get their world championship. I think that Ataraxia and Pretty Prime are finally going to get themselves a trophy. That this is going to be their year to take the whole thing. And I think Luminosity will walk away with second place, knowing that they ended up playing super solid at the World Tournament, considering that they were not necessarily the best team in NA all year, and that they still, when it came down to it, made it all the way to the Worlds and got to the very end. But I think Obey, finally, I think it's their year. I think that the brackets lined up right for them. I think that the play in the meta is going to line up right for them. And I think it's going to be I think once we get to games 7, like 7 through 10 is just going to be a blast. And then everything after that is just going to be insane. I would start to be surprised if the games don't go all 5. If they don't go all 5. But that's what I've got, guys. Obey Alliance, first place. Luminosity, second. With Rival and E United getting third and fourth place. However that works out. They tie for third or whatever. They tie for fourth. Who cares? That's how I've got it going down, guys. That's how I think it's going to end. Thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream today. I will be back, guys, bright and early tomorrow morning. Thanks, everybody, for watching the video. If you want to watch more content, go ahead and click yourself down in the corner to watch another one of our videos. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can find that right up on there. And if you want to go ahead and buy some sweet merchandise, guys, you can click that right above my head. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, have a twitching day.